The alarm on Hana's control panel beeped 3 times. She looked up from her lunch and frowned. The sound meant someone needed help. Someone was in trouble out here in the empty space between stars. Hana put down her food and walked to the front of her small ship. She pressed a button and the message played. The voice was strange, not human. It spoke in clicks and soft whistles, but her computer changed the words into Korean. Help. Please help. Engine broken. Ship dying. Please. The message ended. Hana looked at the location on her screen. The ship was not far away, maybe 2 hours of travel. She sighed and started her engines. Her lunch would have to wait. Hana was a mechanic. She fixed broken ships. Many humans did normal jobs like farming or teaching, but Hana liked machines. She understood how they worked. When she was young, she took apart her father's tools just to see inside. Her mother was angry, but her father laughed. He knew Hana had a gift. Now she traveled through space, going from station to station, fixing what was broken. Most aliens paid well. They knew humans were good with machines. Something about human hands and human brains made them perfect for repair work. Hana did not understand why, but she did not complain. The work paid for her ship and her food. She flew through the darkness. Stars moved slowly past her window. Space was big and empty and quiet. Hana liked the quiet most days. Today she felt nervous. The voice in the message sounded scared. After 2 hours, she saw the other ship on her screen. It was big, much bigger than her small repair shuttle. The ship was dark. Only a few lights blinked on its surface. That was bad. A ship with no lights was a ship with no power. Hana spoke into her radio. This is Mechanic Hana. I received your message. I am here to help. She waited. No answer came. Hello? Can you hear me? Still nothing. Hana bit her lip. Maybe the radio was broken too. She moved her ship closer and found the docking port. Her hands moved over the controls, connecting her small shuttle to the big freighter. The metal doors locked together with a loud clang. She stood up and grabbed her tool bag. It was heavy, full of wrenches and scanners and welding equipment. She put on her jacket. Even with the ships connected, space was cold. Hana opened the door. The air that came through smelled strange, like flowers mixed with metal. Alien air always smelled different. She stepped into the freighter and looked around. It was dark inside. Her helmet light cut through the shadows. The walls were covered in strange writing she could not read. The floor was smooth and curved, not flat like human ships. Everything felt wrong and empty. Hello? She called out. Is anyone here? Her voice echoed through the corridors. No one answered. Hana walked forward slowly. Her boots made soft sounds on the floor. She passed rooms with open doors. Inside, she saw beds and tables, all made for creatures different from humans. The beds were too low. The tables had too many sides. She found the engine room after 10 minutes of searching. The door was open and smoke came out in thin streams. Hana coughed and waved her hand in front of her face. She stepped inside. The engine was huge. It filled the entire room, a mass of pipes and wires and glowing parts. But many of those parts were not glowing anymore. They were dark and broken. Black marks covered the metal where something had burned. Oh no, Hana whispered. This was bad. Very bad. The engine had exploded from the inside. Fixing this would take days, not hours. She set down her tool bag and pulled out her scanner. She pointed it at the engine and watched the numbers appear on the small screen. The main power core was cracked. 3 fuel lines had melted. The cooling system was completely destroyed. Hana shook her head. How was this ship still in one piece? She heard a sound behind her. Hana turned quickly. Her heart beat faster. Hello, is someone there? The sound came again. It was soft, like something small moving in the dark. Hana pointed her light toward the noise. 2 eyes looked back at her. They were big and round and glowed with a soft purple light. They were beautiful and strange. Hana stepped back. Who are you? The eyes blinked. Slowly, a small creature walked out of the shadows. It was about the size of a large cat, but it did not look like any cat Hana had ever seen. Its body was covered in smooth silver fur that seemed to shine in her light. It had 4 legs and a long tail. Its face was flat with a small nose and those huge glowing eyes. The creature made a soft chirping sound. It tilted its head and looked at Hana. "Hello," Hana said quietly. She did not want to scare it. "Are you alone here?" The creature chirped again. It took a step closer. Hana knelt down slowly. She had seen pictures of aliens before, many different kinds, but she did not recognize this one. The creature was young, she could tell. It moved with the clumsy steps of a child. "Where are your parents?" Hana asked. The creature did not answer. It could not speak her language. It just looked at her with those sad, glowing eyes. Hana felt her chest grow tight. A young creature, alone on a broken ship. This was worse than she thought. She looked around the engine room again, hoping to see adults somewhere. But there was nothing. Just her, the broken engine, and this small, lonely creature. "Okay," she said softly. "Okay. I will fix the engine. Then we will find your family. Do not worry." The creature chirped once more. Then it turned and ran back into the shadows. Hana watched it go. She felt very alone suddenly and very far from home. She stood up and looked at the broken engine. This was going to be a long job. She pulled out her wrench and got to work. Hana worked for 3 hours straight. Her arms hurt and her back was sore from bending over the engine. She had removed 6 burned panels and replaced 2 melted wires. The work was slow and difficult. The little creature came back after the first hour. Hana heard its soft footsteps behind her but did not turn around. She was too focused on connecting a fuel line. The connection had to be perfect or the whole engine could explode again. She reached for her small wrench. Her fingers touched empty air. The wrench was gone. Hana looked down at her tool bag. The wrench was not there either. She frowned and stood up, looking around the floor. Where had she put it? A chirping sound came from the corner of the room. Hana turned and saw the creature sitting in the shadows. Her wrench was between its front paws. The creature looked at her with its big purple eyes. "Hey," Hana said. "I need that." The creature tilted its head. It made a happy chirping sound and batted the wrench with one paw. The tool slid across the floor. Hana walked over and picked up the wrench. "Do not take my tools. I need them to fix the ship." She went back to work. The creature watched her, its tail swishing slowly back and forth. 10 minutes later, Hana needed her plasma torch. She reached for it. It was gone. "No," Hana said. She turned around. The creature sat in a different corner now. The plasma torch lay in front of it, the blue safety light still blinking. "Give that back," Hana said louder this time. "That is dangerous." She walked over quickly and grabbed the torch. The creature jumped back, startled by her loud voice. It made a sad whistling sound. Hana felt bad for yelling. She took a deep breath. "I am sorry, but you cannot take my tools. They can hurt you." The creature just looked at her. It did not understand her words. Hana returned to the engine. She placed the plasma torch right next to her, where she could see it. She would not let the creature take anything else. She worked for 20 more minutes. Everything was going well. She was reconnecting the cooling system, a job that needed 3 different tools. She used her calibrator first, then her voltage meter, then reached for her connector clamp. It was gone. Hana closed her eyes and counted to 5. She turned around slowly. The creature sat right behind her, now closer than before. The connector clamp was in its mouth. "Drop it," Hana said. The creature did not drop it. It made a muffled chirping sound and shook its head, making the clamp rattle. Hana stepped forward. "Drop it right now." The creature turned and ran. It was fast, much faster than Hana expected. It ran behind a big pipe and disappeared. Hana chased after it. "Come back here." She found the creature under a broken control panel. It had dropped the clamp and was now playing with it, pushing it back and forth with its paws like a toy. Hana knelt down and reached for the clamp. The creature grabbed it first and ran again. This time it went to the other side of the room. "Why are you doing this?" Hana said. She was tired and frustrated. Her back hurt. She had work to do, and this little creature was making everything harder. She chased the creature around the engine room 4 more times. Finally, she got close enough to grab the clamp when the creature dropped it to chirp at her. Hana held the tool tight and glared at the creature. "Stay away from my tools," she said firmly. The creature sat down and looked up at her. Its big eyes seemed sad. It made a soft, quiet sound, almost like a cry. Hana's anger faded a little. The creature was just playing. It did not understand. It was probably bored and lonely. She wondered how long it had been alone on this broken ship. "Listen," Hana said, her voice softer now. "I know you are lonely, but I have to fix the engine. If I do not fix it, we cannot go anywhere. We will be stuck here in space forever." The creature chirped quietly. It looked at the tools in her bag, then back at her face. "No more stealing," Hana said. "Okay?" The creature blinked its purple eyes. Hana went back to work. She kept all her tools very close now and watched the creature from the corner of her eye. The little thing sat at the edge of the room, its tail curled around its body, just watching her. For 30 minutes, everything was fine. Hana finished reconnecting the cooling system. She moved on to the power core. This was the hardest part of the repair. The core had a crack running through it. She needed to seal the crack with a special compound and then reinforce it with metal plates. She opened her case of repair supplies and found the sealing compound. She spread it carefully over the crack, working slowly. The compound would harden in 10 minutes, so she had to work fast but also perfectly. She needed the metal plates next. She turned to grab them from her bag. They were gone. Hana's hands clenched into fists. No, she spun around. The creature was running toward the door, the metal plates in its mouth. They were too big for it, and the creature stumbled, but it kept going. "Stop," Hana shouted. "Those are important." She ran after the creature. This time she was angry, really angry. Those plates were the only ones she had. Without them, she could not fix the power core. Without the power core, the ship would never run again. The creature ran into the hallway. Hana followed, her boots pounding on the floor. The creature was fast, but Hana was faster. She caught up to it near a closed door. The creature dropped the plates and looked up at her. It made a scared sound and backed away. Hana picked up the plates and checked them. They were not damaged. She felt relief wash over her, then anger came back. "Why do you keep doing this?" she demanded. "What is wrong with you?" The creature pressed itself against the wall. It made small, frightened chirping sounds. Its whole body shook. Hana stopped. She looked at the small creature, really looked at it. It was terrified. She was big and loud and scary. The creature was just small and alone and did not know what else to do. Hana's anger melted away. She felt ashamed. She took a breath and knelt down to make herself smaller, less frightening. "I am sorry," she said quietly. "I should not have yelled. You are just playing, right?" "You do not understand." The creature stopped shaking. It looked at her with its big eyes. Hana reached out slowly. The creature did not run. She touched its head gently, stroking the soft silver fur. It was warm and smooth like touching silk. "I know you are lonely," Hana said. "I am sorry, but I really need to work. Can you please let me work?" The creature leaned into her hand. It made a soft, sad sound. Hana petted it for a moment longer, then stood up. "Come on, let us go back. You can watch me work, but no more stealing. Deal?" The creature followed her back to the engine room. It sat in the corner again and watched. This time it did not try to take anything. Hana got back to work. She attached the metal plates to the power core. The job took an hour and her hands cramped by the end. But finally it was done. She sat back and looked at her work. It was good. The core would hold now. She glanced at the creature. It had not moved from its spot. It just sat there watching her with those sad, glowing eyes. Hana felt her heart hurt a little. This little creature was all alone. Hana needed a break. She had been working for 6 hours and her body was tired. Her stomach growled with hunger. She walked back to her shuttle to get food and water. The little creature followed her. Its footsteps were so quiet that Hana almost forgot it was there. When she turned around in her shuttle, she saw it sitting at the doorway, looking inside with curious eyes. "You want to come in?" Hana asked. The creature chirped. It did not enter, just watched. Hana opened her food container. She had packed rice balls and vegetables. She sat down and started eating. The creature watched every bite she took. "Are you hungry?" Hana asked. She broke off a piece of vegetable and held it out. "I do not know if you can eat this." The creature moved forward slowly. It sniffed the vegetable, then turned away. It did not want human food. Okay, Hana said. There must be food for you somewhere on the ship. After eating, Hana decided to explore the freighter more. She needed to find the crew or at least learn what had happened, and the creature needed food. She walked through the dark corridors with her light. The creature stayed close to her now, almost touching her leg as they walked. Hana found a kitchen area with strange equipment. She opened cabinets and found sealed containers. The labels were in alien writing she could not read. She opened one container. Inside was something that looked like dried purple strips. She held it out to the creature. The creature sniffed it and made an excited chirp. It took the strip gently from her hand and ate it quickly. Good, Hana said. At least you can eat. She left several containers of the purple strips on the floor for the creature, then continued exploring. She found sleeping quarters, a bathroom with strange fixtures, and a room full of cargo containers. But she found no crew. Then she came to a closed door at the end of a hallway. The door was different from the others. It was larger and made of thicker metal. A warning symbol was painted on it in red. Hana felt nervous. She did not want to open this door, but she needed to know what was inside. She pressed the button. The door slid open with a hiss. The room was cold, much colder than the rest of the ship. Hana's breath came out in white clouds. She stepped inside and shined her light around. Two large pods stood against the far wall. They were made of clear material so she could see inside. Hana walked closer and her heart sank. Inside each pod was a creature like the little one following her. But these were bigger, adults. They were not moving. The monitors on the pods showed flat lines. No heartbeat. No brain activity. They were dead. Hana felt sick. She understood now. These were the crew. These were the creature's parents. She turned around. The little creature stood in the doorway. It was looking at the pods. It made a sound Hana had not heard before, a long, sad cry that made her chest hurt. "Oh no," Hana whispered. "I am so sorry." The creature walked into the room slowly. It went to the pods and pressed its small paws against the clear material. It cried again, a sound full of pain and loss. Hana knelt down beside it. Tears filled her own eyes. She did not know these aliens. She did not know their names or their story. But she knew grief. She had lost her own grandmother 2 years ago. She remembered that pain, that emptiness. "I am so sorry," she said again. She reached out and touched the creature's back, stroking its soft fur. The creature leaned against her. It was shaking and crying. Hana picked it up gently and held it against her chest. It was heavier than she expected, warm and solid. "It is okay," she whispered, even though it was not okay. "Nothing about this was okay. You are not alone. I am here." She carried the creature out of the cold room and closed the door behind them. She could not leave those bodies in there forever, but she did not know what to do with them. Different species had different death customs. She would figure it out later. For now, the little creature needed comfort. Hana carried it back to the engine room. She sat down on the floor with her back against the wall. The creature curled up in her lap, still crying softly. "What is your name?" Hana asked quietly. "I wish I knew your name." The creature did not answer. It just pressed closer to her. Hana stroked its fur and talked. She did not know if the creature understood her words, but maybe her voice would help. She told the creature about Earth, about her home. She talked about her small apartment in Seoul where she grew up. She described the sounds of the city, the smell of street food, the lights at night. She talked about her mother, who was a teacher, and her father, who worked in a factory. She told the creature about her little brother Minho, who was still in school. She missed her family. She had not seen them in 8 months. "You understand missing people," Hana said softly. "I know you do." The creature's crying got quieter. It was listening to her voice. Hana kept talking. She told the creature about learning to fix machines. Her first job was fixing a broken radio when she was 7 years old. Her father had been so surprised when she got it working. She talked about her training, about her first real job fixing shuttles at a space station. "I love fixing things," Hana said. "When something is broken, I can make it work again. I wish I could fix everything. I wish I could fix what happened to your parents." She felt tears on her cheeks. She wiped them away. The creature looked up at her. Its purple eyes were wet. It made a soft chirp and touched her face with one paw, gentle and careful. "Thank you," Hana whispered. They sat together for a long time. Hana did not know how long. Time felt strange in space, especially when you were sad. Eventually, the creature fell asleep in her lap, exhausted from crying. Hana held it carefully. She looked at the broken engine across the room. She still had work to do. The engine was not finished. But the work could wait a little longer. She thought about what she had learned. This creature was a child who had lost everything. Its parents were gone. Its home was this broken ship drifting in space. It had been alone for who knows how long before Hana arrived. No wonder it stole her tools. It was not trying to be difficult. It just wanted attention. It wanted someone to notice it, to play with it, to not leave it alone in the dark. I understand now, Hana said quietly to the sleeping creature. I'm sorry I got angry. You were just scared and lonely. She thought about what would happen next. She would fix the engine, then what? She could not leave this creature alone. It had no one else. But she was just a mechanic with a small shuttle. She lived alone. She traveled constantly. She did not know how to take care of an alien child, but she could not abandon it either. I will figure something out, Hana promised. I will not leave you alone. The creature slept peacefully in her arms. Its breathing was slow and steady. Hana felt its heartbeat against her chest, strong and alive. After an hour, she carefully moved the creature off her lap and onto a soft pile of cargo blankets she found. It did not wake up. It just curled into a ball and kept sleeping. Hana stood up and stretched. Her body ached, but she felt different now. She was not just fixing an engine anymore. She was helping someone small and scared who needed her. She walked back to the engine and picked up her tools. She had work to do. The faster she fixed this ship, the faster she could get the creature somewhere safe. But as she worked, she kept looking back at the sleeping creature. And she wondered what somewhere safe even meant for it now. The creature woke up 2 hours later. Hana was working on the fuel lines when she heard a soft chirp behind her. She turned and saw the creature sitting up, watching her with those big purple eyes. Hello, Hana said gently. Did you sleep okay? The creature chirped again. It stood up and walked over to her slowly. It sat down right next to her tool bag and just watched. I am almost done with this part, Hana explained, even though the creature could not understand her words. Then I need to test the fuel flow. After that, maybe 4 more hours of work and the engine will run again. She reached for her wrench. The creature looked at it but did not take it. That was good, Hana worked quietly. The creature watched every move she made. When Hana picked up a tool, the creature's eyes followed. When Hana connected wires, the creature leaned closer to see. After 30 minutes, Hana needed her calibrator. She turned to get it from her bag. Before she could reach it, the creature moved. It picked up the calibrator carefully in its mouth and brought it to her. Hana stared in surprise. Did you just help me? The creature dropped the tool next to her hand. It made a happy chirping sound and sat back down. Thank you, Hana said. She felt a smile on her face for the first time in hours. That was very helpful. She used the calibrator and set it down. She needed her voltage meter next. Before she could ask, the creature picked it up and brought it to her. Hana laughed. You are learning. Good job. The creature made excited chirping sounds. Its tail swished back and forth quickly. They worked together for the next hour. Hana would need a tool and the creature would bring it. Sometimes the creature brought the wrong tool and Hana would gently correct it. No, not that one. The blue one. The creature would look at the tools and try again. It was learning fast. Hana was amazed. This creature was smart, very smart. It was watching what she did and understanding. When Hana pointed at something, the creature looked at the right place. When Hana made a happy sound, the creature got excited. When Hana frowned, the creature seemed worried. You are learning my body language, Hana said. Just like humans and dogs back on Earth. You are reading my emotions. The creature tilted its head. It chirped softly. Hana needed to climb inside a large opening in the engine to reach some damaged wires. It was a tight space and she could barely fit. She squeezed inside and started working. The creature made a worried sound. I am okay, Hana called out. I just need to fix these wires. But the space was very tight and Hana could not reach her tool bag from inside. She needed her wire cutters. She reached out her arm through the opening. Can you bring me the wire cutters? The red tool with the handles? She did not really expect the creature to understand. But a moment later, she felt something touch her hand. The creature was putting the wire cutters into her palm. You are amazing, Hana said. Thank you. She heard happy chirping from outside. Hana finished connecting the wires and climbed out. The creature was waiting for her. As soon as she was out, it climbed onto her lap and rubbed its head against her chest. "You were worried about me," Hana said, petting it. "You are so sweet." They took a break. Hana ate more food and gave the creature more of the purple strips. The creature ate 3 strips and then curled up next to Hana's leg while she rested. Hana looked down at it. "I need to give you a name. I cannot just call you creature forever." She thought for a moment. The creature was small and silver and had those beautiful glowing eyes. "How about Biol?" "That means star in Korean, because your eyes shine like stars." The creature looked up at her and chirped. "Biol it is then," Hana said, smiling. After the break, they went back to work. Now that Biol understood how to help, everything went faster. Hana would point at a tool and Biol would bring it. Sometimes Hana needed to hold something in place while using both hands for a different task. She would tell Biol, "Hold this steady," and press Biol's paw against the component. Biol understood and held it while Hana worked. They were becoming a team. "You know," Hana said as she reconnected a power cable, "humans are supposed to be good at working with others. That is one of our strengths. We cooperate, we teach, we learn from each other." Biol chirped and brought her a connector clamp before she even asked for it. "Yes, exactly like that," Hana said. "You are learning so fast. I bet your species is good at learning too. You watch and copy. That is how human children learn. They watch their parents and copy what they do." Hana stopped working for a moment. She felt sad again. Biol would never get to watch his parents again. Never learn from them. All Biol had now was Hana, a human who did not even speak the same language, but they were communicating anyway. Not with words, but with actions, with patience, with kindness. "I will teach you," Hana promised. "I do not know much about your species, but I will teach you what I can, and we will learn together." The work continued. The engine was really coming together now. Hana reconnected the main power relays. She reinforced the damaged sections. She replaced the burned circuits. Biol helped with everything, bringing tools, holding components, even learning to press buttons when Hana pointed at them. At one point, Hana was working on something high up and needed to stretch to reach it. Biol made a worried sound. Before Hana could react, Biol climbed up on a nearby box and then onto Hana's shoulder, balancing carefully. From there, Biol could reach the high place and hold a wire steady while Hana connected it from below. "You are brilliant," Hana said, laughing. "We make a good team, Biol." Biol chirped happily from her shoulder. As they worked, Hana talked. She told Biol about different machines she had fixed. She explained how engines worked, how fuel became energy, how power flowed through circuits. She did not know if Biol understood the words, but Biol listened to everyone. She also talked about feelings. "I was scared when I first came on this ship," Hana admitted. "It was so dark and empty. And then I found you and I did not know what to do. I am still scared sometimes. Scared I will mess up. Scared I cannot help you enough." Biol climbed down from her shoulder and pressed against her side. The creature was trying to comfort her. "Thank you," Hana said softly. "You are helping me too, you know. I feel less alone with you here." They worked into the night, though there was no real night in space. Time was just numbers on a clock. But Hana was getting tired and she knew Biol must be tired too. Finally, she installed the last component. The engine was complete. All the broken parts were fixed or replaced. Everything was connected properly. "Now comes the scary part," Hana said. "We have to start it up and hope it works." Biol looked at her with big, trusting eyes. Hana walked to the engine control panel. Her hand shook a little as she reached for the start button. If she had made a mistake, the engine could explode again. They could both die, but she had been careful. She had checked everything 3 times. It would work. It had to work. "Here we go," Hana said. She pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the engine made a low humming sound. Lights began to glow. The hum grew louder, deeper. Power flowed through the circuits. The screens around the room came to life, showing system information. The engine was running. "We did it," Hana shouted. "Biol, we did it!" Biol jumped and chirped excitedly, running in circles. Hana laughed and picked up the creature, spinning around. They had done it together. The ship had power again. They could go somewhere now. They were not stuck anymore. But as Hana's excitement faded, she realized she had a new problem. Where would they go? And what would happen to Biol? Hana sat in the freighter's control room with Bjol curled up in her lap. The screens showed maps of space and lists of information in alien writing. She had spent the last hour trying to read the ship's logs through her translator device. What she learned made her heart hurt. The ship belonged to two Velkari traders named in the logs with symbols her translator could not speak. They had been traveling to a station to sell goods. But something went wrong with the engine. It exploded without warning. The parents had time to put Bjol in a safe room before the engine room filled with poisonous gas. They went to fix the engine and died trying. That was 3 weeks ago. Bjol had been alone since then, surviving on stored food and water, waiting in the dark. Hana stroked Bjol's soft fur. 3 weeks alone. You are so brave. She kept reading. The Velkari were rare. Very rare. Only a few thousand existed in the whole galaxy. They came from a small planet far away. The species was dying out because they had so few children. Hana read more carefully. Velkari cubs bonded with their parents through constant contact and learning. The cubs would follow their parents everywhere, watching and copying everything they did. That was how they learned to survive. But if the parents died, the cub could bond with someone else. Anyone who showed them kindness and taught them would become their new parent. It was a survival trait. The species was so rare that cubs needed to be able to adapt to any caretaker. You bonded with me, Hana whispered. That is why you followed me. That is why you learned to help. You chose me as your new parent. Bjol looked up at her and chirped softly. Hana felt tears in her eyes again. But I am just human. I do not know how to raise a Velkari cub. I do not know what you need. She looked at the screen again. The ship's destination had been a station called Waypoint 7. It was a big trading station where many species lived together. Maybe someone there would know about Velkari. Maybe someone could help. But as Hana thought about it, she felt something strange in her chest. She did not want to give Bjol to someone else. These past hours working together, teaching Bjol, watching Bjol learn, it had felt good. It had felt right. She looked down at the small creature in her lap. What do you want, Bjol? Do you want to stay with me? Bjol climbed up her chest and pressed a soft paw against her face. The purple eyes looked into hers. Bjol chirped, a sound that seemed to say yes. Okay, Hana said. Her voice shook a little. Okay, you can stay with me. We will figure this out together. She made her decision. She would take Bjol to Waypoint 7 first. She would learn everything she could about Velkari and how to care for Bjol properly. Then they would go to Earth. Hana had always worked alone, always traveled alone. But she did not want to be alone anymore. And Bjol needed a home. We will be a family, Hana said. A weird family. A human and a Velkari, but a family. Bjol chirped happily and rubbed against her. Hana spent the next 2 hours preparing the ship for travel. With Bjol's help, she checked all the systems. The engine was running well. The life support was working. The navigation system needed some repairs, but it was good enough to get them to Waypoint 7. She also had to deal with Bjol's parents. She found information in the ship's computer about Velkari death customs. They believed in returning to the stars. Bodies were meant to be sent into space to float forever among the light. It was sad work, but Hana did it carefully and respectfully. She programmed the pods to eject into space on a course toward a nearby nebula, a cloud of colorful gas where stars were born. It seemed like a beautiful place for them to rest. Bjol stayed with her the whole time. When the pods ejected and disappeared into the darkness, Bjol cried. Hana held the small creature close and cried too. She said a prayer in Korean, even though she did not know if it meant anything to the Velkari. It felt important to say something. Goodbye, Hana whispered to the stars. I will take care of your child. I promise. After that, they prepared to leave. Hana moved some of her things from her shuttle to the freighter. The freighter was bigger and more comfortable. She would fly it to Waypoint 7. Her shuttle could be towed behind. Bjol followed her back and forth, never more than a few steps away. The creature did not want to let Hana out of sight. I am not leaving, Hana assured Bjol every time. I am staying with you. Finally, everything was ready. Hana sat in the pilot's chair. Bjol jumped up and settled in the seat next to her. Hana programmed the coordinates for Waypoint 7. It would take 3 days to get there. Ready? Hana asked. Bjol chirped. Hana pushed the controls forward. The engine hummed louder. The ship began to move, slowly at first, then faster. The empty space around them began to change as they accelerated. Hana felt relief wash over her. They were moving. They were going somewhere. They were not stuck anymore. As they traveled, Hana established a routine. She would work on the ship's remaining repairs during the day. Biol would help, bringing tools and learning new tasks. Hana taught Biol how to read simple screens and press buttons. She taught Biol about safety, about what was dangerous and what was safe. During meals, Hana would eat her human food and Biol would eat the stored Velkari food they had found. They would sit together in the common area. Hana would talk about Earth and Biol would listen, sometimes making chirping sounds like questions. At night, they slept in the same room. Hana took one of the beds and Biol curled up right next to her. The first night, Biol had tried to sleep alone in a different room, but came running back after 10 minutes, scared of being alone. After that, they stayed together. On the second day, Hana found children's learning materials in the ship's computer. They were designed to teach young Velkari language and numbers and other important things. Hana started using them with Biol. She would play the lessons and Biol would watch, practicing the sounds and motions. Biol learned incredibly fast. By the end of the second day, Biol could count to 10 in Velkari and recognize dozens of words. Hana was amazed. "You are so smart," Hana said proudly. "Smarter than I was at your age, I think." She started teaching Biol Korean too. Simple words like yes and no and food and sleep. Biol learned those quickly too. Soon they could communicate better. Not perfectly, but enough. Enough to understand each other's needs. On the third day, Waypoint 7 appeared on the screen. It was a huge structure, a circle of metal floating in space with thousands of lights. Ships came and went like insects around a flower. Hana requested permission to dock. The station's computer replied in several languages. Hana selected Korean. "State your business," the computer said. "I am bringing in a damaged freighter for repairs," Hana said, "and I need information about Velkari." There was a pause. Then a real voice came through, not a computer. The voice spoke Korean but with a strange accent. "Did you say Velkari?" "Yes," Hana said. "I have a Velkari cub with me. We need help." Another pause. "Velkari are extremely rare. We are granting you priority docking. Bay 12. We will have experts meet you there." "Thank you," Hana said. She looked at Biol. "We are here. Let us see what happens next." The ship docked smoothly. Hana picked up Biol and carried the creature toward the exit. Her heart beat fast. She was nervous. What if they tried to take Biol away? What if they said a human could not care for a Velkari? The docking bay door opened. 3 aliens stood there waiting. They looked like tall, thin birds with 4 arms and feathers instead of fur. Their large eyes fixed on Biol immediately. "That is a Velkari cub," one of them said in amazement. "A healthy one. Are you the parent?" Another asked, looking at Hana with confusion. "I am now," Hana said firmly. She held Biol closer. "The parents died. Biol bonded with me. We are staying together." The aliens looked at each other. Then the first one made a gesture Hana recognized as a nod. Velkari cubs bond with those who care for them. If the cub has chosen you, that is sacred. But you will need education. Velkari require specific care. "I will learn," Hana said. "Whatever I need to learn, I will learn." The alien who seemed to be the leader smiled. At least Hana thought it was a smile. "Humans are known for their dedication. Come, we will teach you everything. Velkari are precious. We are glad this cub found you." Hana felt relief flood through her. "Thank you." As they walked into the station, Biol purred against her chest. The sound was new, something Hana had not heard before. It sounded like happiness. It sounded like home. "We are going to be okay," Hana whispered to Biol. "Both of us." Over the next week, Hana learned everything about Velkari, their diet, their sleep patterns, their emotional needs, their growth stages. The station's experts were patient and thorough. They gave Hana supplies and medicine and educational materials. They also told her something important. "The Velkari homeworld is dying," one expert explained. "Their species is slowly disappearing. Every cub is precious. The fact that one bonded with a human is remarkable. You are now part of something very rare and special." "I know," Hana said, looking at Biol, who was playing with a toy in the corner. "I will protect Biol always." When everything was ready, Hana filed paperwork making her officially Biol's guardian. She sold the damaged freighter to pay for supplies and fuel. Then she and Biol boarded her small shuttle, now properly equipped for 2 passengers instead of 1. They set course for Earth. It would take 2 months to get there.